Welcome back to another episode of the Strive for 25 Platforms. I've got an amazing guest on today. It's Sunday night. I've got Demarco on with us. And this gentleman's done some pretty amazing things, short life here. But we're going to be talking about multiple IT jobs, stockpiling cash, and then building a real estate portfolio from scratch out of thin air. So Demarco, thanks for making time for us on a Sunday night. I want to go backwards in time to the very beginning when you bought your first property. I know that you sold that property and were able to sell and make some money, some profits on the back end. When you bought that first property, what was your vision, your purpose, your why? What was going on? Why did you buy a property at that time? And what was your expectation?
Okay, Joe. First of all, I want to say thanks for having me. And second of all, I want to say you're definitely my guy because the Cowboys are playing the Steelers right now, and I'm
Okay, we'll make it short.
Well, one of the biggest things were I just kept hearing people saying renting doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So I was renting for a long time, and it's like it doesn't make sense. So I was like, someone explained to me that if you buy a home, that you can actually just pay the mortgage. You're paying your mortgage down, and you sell the home, you receive something from it. Like when I leave my apartment, I didn't receive anything except thank you for staying here. But what I noticed was as I was making my payments, I was checking on my home and I was growing equity in it. So I seen what was like actually what was from where I started to where I was at then. I seen money in there. So it only made sense to buy homes because I seen the equity grow. At least if I want to stay somewhere, I want to at least be able to pay that mortgage down and get some equity out of it. So that was one of the, this renting was just, it just didn't make sense to keep renting. And I was paying high rent. And at the time when I bought my first home, I was able to get a lower payment on my home than it was living in my apartment. It was about $400 difference.
Okay. What year was that?
2019.
19. Okay. At that time, what kind of job did you have or jobs?
Well, at that time, actually, I wasn't even doing IT at that time. I was actually, at that time, I was working for dealers. I was working for corporate dealers.
Okay.
So that was just like, I bought my first home and didn't really start thinking about buying other homes until I started gaining money. So the more money I started having, then I was like, you know what, why not buy another home? So
what got you into IT?
Money, actually just money. It's just, I seen the way the world was trending and what was going on. A lot of jobs were scarce around here. I knew IT was like basically evolving. So I knew this was probably better jump in this lane. So I would always have job security.
Did you have to get any type of certificate or training to get into that lane?
Well, actually, honestly, I had a friend who actually already was doing IT. He taught me a lot in IT. I actually got some free certificates. I got certified in a couple different things, and I just put my resume online, and I just continued to study IT, and I was able to do my own interviews and get jobs.
Okay. Are you okay sharing kind of what the entry level type of income range is or was?
Yeah, just from a start, you're probably gonna start off around, you can get a job around 50, 60, 70,000. I mean, unless you want to go and get a degree, it's people that's come in with degrees in computer science, and they're making about 90. I know I had a friend who makes about 90 straight out of college. So
then you get into the field, get more experience, get more work, and then what's possible? Like what once you get into the game of IT, in terms of income, what type of percentage of gains or increases are possible for somebody that as they put their time in?
Definitely six figures. I know some people that make anywhere from 100 to I know some people making 250,000. Get certified and move up different companies. IT is always hiring, man. If you go look on Indeed, LinkedIn, man, it's just IT jobs everywhere. It's just growing.
Always hiring.
Always hiring. There's jobs everywhere. I get probably I put my resume on about 5 different platforms, and I get at least 5, 6 emails every day asking me, "Hey, are you on the job market? Ready to put you in on an RT, like right to represent, to try to get you a job at one of these companies."
Let's say that I graduate high school and I'm a very average student, average intelligence, anywhere in the country. You could be in San Diego, California, New York, middle of the Midwest.
Yeah.
And you want to get a job in the IT world. If I'm 18 years old and I've got a college diploma and I'm very average, is there work out there for me?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how hard you want to work. I mean, kind of like when you think about someone at 18, what's your plan? I mean, if you're willing to go and put your nose in the books and really learn IT, sit down and take the time to learn it, yeah, definitely. I mean, but you know how it is when you're 18 and you're kind of not thinking about going to college. I don't know how far you really actually want to go, but hey,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah. So,
But if you're motivated and you want to learn the work and you want to put the work in and do the time because you want to get ahead and you don't want to put because it's a choice, right? If you go to college, you're investing, right? You're spending money
right,
on maybe
yeah,
student loans and you're in your education, and then you come out 4, 5, 6 years, and then you go get a job. But it's also time that you could have been doing other things, and if you build a business or build your job skills, in stockpile cash and savings, and maybe you don't have any bills,
right,
it's an opportunity to be able to put money away.
right,
So always hiring. So if somebody is because like I keep talking about this on this platform that there's 56 million households that are not generating household income of $60,000 a year. So as a household below 60 grand. So that's roughly 40% of the households out there. I think there's 130 or 140 million households out there in the United States right now. So on the flip side of that, you've got you mentioned you bought your first home in 2019, right? Timing, right? You can never predict the future. But from
right,
2020 till today, I mean, your dollar's been devalued over 25%.
right,
Median income is roughly flat over the same time frame. So your dollar's not going as far anymore. Even
right,
though inflation's down, the damage has already been done. If you haven't increased your income, you're getting left behind. If you don't own
right,
assets, you're getting left behind.
for sure.
So if somebody is making $60,000 a year as a household, and is there room for a part-time job in the IT world?
Depends on what you're doing, yeah, for sure. Let me just think about it. Nah, probably not so much. I mean, maybe multiple IT jobs because when you think of
Okay,
IT, people think you're just
multiple.
constant. They're just thinking you're constantly working. You're not just constantly working all day. You
Okay,
might have to.
so if I got a retail job doing whatever, and I say I want to get into the IT world, maybe get a couple jobs, go find somebody that's in the world, learn some of the ways to be able to get educated, get into the game, get a job, interview, and you can have more than one job potentially.
Right. Yeah. And what it comes down to is I've been in this situation multiple times. Like you got to watch out because some jobs do require more from you than other jobs, and also some jobs want you inside of the building. Some jobs want you hybrid. So I mean, fortunately for me, I only look for remote opportunities. I don't
Okay.
really want to go to the office. So anything remote is for me. If it's in the office, I don't really want to go in the office because that does what COVID kind of taught me was going in the office is a waste of time due to the fact you only can do what you can do in the office. When you're remote, you can do whatever you need to do throughout the day.
Yeah.
It allows you to run your errands when you have that time. It allows you to do certain stuff while you're actually at work. So it's
I,
basically from a time point, it's very helpful. Working from home is from a time point is very helpful.
yeah, and I spend time in the car, wasting time in the car,
Right.
driving on. So would you say that remote jobs are more companies expecting people to come in the office now, or is it still the same, or are there any changes in terms of expectations for remote work?
Yeah, I think they're trying to get people in the office a little bit more because I'm not actually seeing as many remote opportunities as I was seeing during COVID. So I think they're trying to push people back in the office because I know most of these companies are paying for these buildings. So at least if I'm paying for them, I want people inside of these buildings.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a personal question. So working a couple jobs, going back in time, what's an example of how much money you were able to save? Like, what was your best month of being able to put money away, save money in a month?
I'm not very structured when it comes to saving, but I mean just how much money I was making, and I think at one point I was making $26,000 a month.
Okay.
Working multiple IT jobs, it was just like it's more of a hustle. Like if it's in you, if you have the hustle mentality, I was hustling. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to make money, just stacking my money up and not necessarily spending. I'm just stacking, because I knew my next opportunity I want to buy a home. The money I was saving was buying homes. It wasn't just to go out here and mess the money up and do what I want to do, vacation all the time. That's cool. But
Yeah.
I was in my hustle mode of this. I'm going to work multiple IT jobs and save, buy a house here, buy another house. I just kept wanting to buy homes because I'm thinking from a future standpoint that worst case scenario, if anything happened, I can sell these homes just to because I seen what the economy was doing as well. Everything's just going bad. So I'm like, hey, worst case scenario, I have 5 homes. It goes bad. I have equity in these homes. I can sell everything just to stay on my feet, just to stay afloat. And I think I was more of the hustling, trying to stay afloat. Because I made the $100,000 off my first home, and that let me know there was equity. Like I knew buying homes was the place I wanted to go because I saw that money that I did nothing really but pay a mortgage, and I saw me get $100,000 off of it.
Would you, like, when you look around and see some peers, right? Again, if you're working a remote job, you're not going to have people next to you in the next, cubicle over, but you probably have, relationships that you build with coworkers and whatnot. Are
Right.
other people doing things similarly in terms of that desire to work multiple jobs and stockpile cash? I mean, what are your peers doing?
Well, I do have some peers. It's a mindset, man. It's just, talking to each individual is just crazy where people's mind is. Like my friends, nobody else is buying homes. They're not doing it. I don't know why they're not doing it. I mean, I don't know what to tell them. I've talked to them a lot of times, and it's kind of hard to give $30,000-$40,000 of your cash to a home.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just want to like, hey, this is all I have. They don't want to give all their money. But for me, I just save. I just had a mindset of not caring what was going on outside. I wanted to save my money. And that's just where I was at with it. It's just, I mean, it's hard to do for sure. I mean, it's just like, but it has to be in you because it was hard to do.
You said it was a mindset thing.
It's a mindset.
So I know what that means for me personally, right? Because, I was able to work a lot of hours in a sales job and save money and kind of earlier on in my career. And, working in a commission job, the better I am, the more efficient I am in my job, the more money that I can make. And I was doing this for a certain reason.
Right.
How would you describe your reason?
One of my reasons is I do have kids. That's another reason I want to leave something for my kids. Worst case scenario, if something happens to me. And I also have family. I mean, I didn't come from the best background, so I have family. Not family struggling, created having places to stay. One of the things I did do, I'm actually in one of my homes here in North Carolina that I just renovated. I let my brother stay here for a year. You know what I'm saying? So it was something that I could do for my brother that he didn't have to worry about finding another home. I was able to let him stay in my home, and his girlfriend stay in my home for over a year. And that's just like, I'm the oldest boy in my family, so it means a lot to me that if something happens to my family, that I can be able to provide something in a sense of, hey, I got a home y'all can go stay in. Things bad, a couple of my family members go stay in this home. Because what I did was most of my homes are nice homes. I didn't do any of the starter homes or whatever you like to call them. At least all my homes at least were $400,000 a piece.
Yeah.
I didn't do any cheap homes because that's just not the lane I didn't want to go in. Even if I rented out, I also wanted to make sure I got the renters that would take care of my stuff.
So
I was
the second home you bought, right? You sold the first one and made some money. The second one you bought, did you ever have any doubts?
No, because I saw it. I saw them put that money in my account, so there was no doubts. That stopped all the doubts. Once the lawyers transferred that money over, it was no more doubts. I saw it.
The reason I asked that question is that, when I was setting up for this, I saw a lady similar in age to me, and she had a son that was with her, and she was doing some work. She's in the nursing field, and we struck up a conversation, and she wanted to open up. Her dream was to open up a business in the nursing world, kind of remote stuff, et cetera, et cetera. And in our conversation, she was been working on it for a bit and hadn't gotten there. I said, just one thing to remember is that most people have the dream and the desire, and they don't do it. So
Right.
if you do it, if you take one step out there and do it, guess what? It may not work out in the first step or the second step, but if you keep on going and get there, and sooner or later it'll work out, because most people won't do it. Most people will think about it and that's it. They'll just think about it and not do it.
Right.
So it's not saturated. It's not overdone. There's go find the people who need your services, and once you do that, even if you can make $1, if you can make $1, that's $1 more than you ever made, and then do it again and do it again and build a business. And so I had a good conversation. And that's the same thing kind of in my world, right? Like, I'm a mortgage guy. Why would I think that I could have a podcast? What do I have to offer? And I had to kind of get out of my own, head and get over my own limiting beliefs of what the purpose of this is and who it could help and be helpful for. and just do it, because most of the people aren't going to do it. And so, you know what? I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm going to do it and not stop and see where it goes over time. And it goes to anybody, you know, like if you've got a desire, go do it, because most people will not do it. And by default, if you do it, you're going to be one of very few.
For sure.
So you use the word, either you have it, the desire. Like most people aren't going to put in the extra time to work 2 jobs and also save the money and stockpile cash. And to me, that like right now, that is the biggest opportunity out there, is someone who can figure out how to save money and go invest in assets, whether it be stocks, crypto, real estate, etc. Real estate, right? You got 4 properties or 5 properties?
5.
So the second one, no doubts. The third, fourth, fifth, any doubts along the way?
No, because I also own the equity. When I looked the houses up, it's telling me what the houses are worth. So, like for instance, I looked this home up, and I see how much money was in it. So it was no doubt to do another one. It was just like it was a no brainer. And just constantly as I'm moving buying these homes, as I see this equity, and the first home I bought in Houston, instantly I had $100,000 in it.
Instantly.
Yeah, like a month later, I looked and it said already, it was already worth $550,000, and I only paid $406 for it.
Yeah, because values are going up just so fast along the way.
Right.
They were just limited, and that's the thing too. Like from a real estate standpoint, rates are high right now. Rates from December of 2021 to May of 2022, rates double from 3 to 6.5%, such a short period of time. Right. And we kind of have this golden, handcuffs to where people that refinance their rates or got into rates in the 2s and the 3s, they have no incentive to ever sell that house. Even if they move to the next one, they'll keep it as a rental, because you're never going to see rates that low again in our lifetimes. And so,
unfortunately, I got 2 of them. That low.
In the 2s.
Yeah, I got. Well, I think this
2s or 3s.
This is in the 2s, and then the first one I bought in Houston was like 3. Then the next one was 4. I think the next one was like 4.
Yeah, so I think there's some stats out there that 40% of households don't have a mortgage, so they're never going to sell. Of the people who have a mortgage, like 50-something% have a rate below 4%, they're never going to sell. Right. So that's like 30% of the houses that are left out there that may sell in the future. So there's limited supply of houses. They're not building houses fast enough because of the cost of construction so high. Right. So even though the market is slow, there's not a lot of housing sales. Prices are still stabilized because no one's selling. There's no panic selling. So we're in a new normal, and it's just this thing where if you're 25, 35, 45, you don't own a house, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right, and they're talking about the refinancing, but who knows when that's going to happen? Like who's knows when these rates going to drop so you can refinance?
Yep.
Hey, sorry, Joe, I'm drinking. I'm getting me some coffee. I'm sorry.
No worries. What's the score of the game?
I didn't even look. It's all good. My Cowboys got about 5 or 6 people out, so I don't expect us to flip off. Yeah, but
oh, it's. I just looked on the app. It says it's delayed. Okay, that's weird.
Yeah. Well, and Joel, I'm also in the process looking for other avenues of money as well. I don't want to talk too much on this live. I want to talk to you later. I actually got an idea, and I think it's a great idea, honestly.
Okay.
It's a great idea.
All right. Can't wait. Yeah, and that's the thing that's so interesting, right? There's this creator economy out there where people are making money online, making money on Instagram, making money on YouTube. Like, I just got my first payout on Twitter X for $12 because of getting into the monetization program. Okay. I had 5,000 impressions over 3 months. Once you hit that threshold, you're eligible. And so I just decided about a month and a half ago, I was like, I'm gonna just put some extra effort towards this. And also a big shout out. I'm not sure if he's out there listening right now. Stay Winning podcast, combining personal finance with crypto. He's the inspiration to me wanting and having the belief that I could do it. But Yeah, I got $12 payout for X, right? And people are building businesses on different platforms, and there's so many different ways you can do it. It's just a matter of figuring out what's right for you. And so whether it be X or YouTube or Instagram or TikTok Shop, or I know people that are selling coaching for content for all kinds of things, weight loss, fitness, all kinds of things that you can do on the side. And that's part of what we're talking about with the upcoming season for the podcast, 100 stories of increasing income, all the different ways to generate income. So not to digress, I think you're going to say something.
Oh no, I haven't. No, I'm just listening. I was just my ideas in my head. I'm glad I'm on the phone. It was just in my head.
So I'm going to kind of come back to the IT world, right?
Okay.
So there's multiple jobs out there. Do you want to share a little bit about where you are right now, or say that for a different day? What's going on in your life right now?
Well, I can talk. I'm actually only working one job now with Bank of America. So doing IT, still remote. Actually, I just had an interview Thursday, trying to get another role. It's just, I mean, for whoever, it's hard work. I mean, it's like you're gonna work, but it's also the reward. You know what I mean? So it's like it feels good. You know what I mean? To understand I have multiple homes. Though, like I never thought I could do something like this. I have like these are my homes.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're mine. It feels good. I work my butt off to get them. So whatever I can do to be an inspiration to anybody else, I mean, I would give anybody the game. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's really free game. It's just a lot of hustling, working hard, and you got to really stay consistent in what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, because that's the thing, right? Like the blueprint is there. You work hard, you save the money, you go buy an asset. It could be crypto, it could be stocks, it could be real estate, whatever it is, and then wait. It's just a time game. Holding these assets over time, you build value, you build equity, etc. Either people want to do it or they don't.
And that's the biggest issue, though. There is because every home is not going to make money, but it's an investment. And some of the homes I break even off of. But for me, what I understand is as the market changes, as they pay my mortgage down, that money's going to return one day. Mm-hmm. It's like you said, it's just a waiting game. Everybody, it's just like you got to find that niche of you being able to put $40,000 down and not miss it and be able to wait on that money. So that's the hustle part of it. You got to hustle to be able to not miss that money when it's gone.
Yeah. There's a clip that I shared, I think it was earlier today, maybe, from our original interview that we did in, I guess, March of 2023. And you said something that really stood out for me, because I know people who you buy a property, as time goes on, equity builds up, and you can borrow some money out of the equity and then use that to be able to purchase the next one and kind of rinse and repeat. Right. And you said, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to buy the next one just with my own income and save. And I think that is unique, but also obviously smart, but also that confidence of, okay, I'm going to keep working my tail off to be able to continue to increase income and save. So that way I'm doing this in a way that I feel comfortable doing, because, what's comfortable to one person may not be comfortable to the next. And so doing it your own way and having the confidence to continue to be able to stockpile cash. So I thought that was really unique. And I wanted to say it out loud because, the ability to save money is so important, but there's just different ways to do it. And I use the word, this is going to be kind of a different part of the conversation. So the word gravity, like you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You and I could have a conversation with a group of 10 people, and people may listen to the message in the moment and be inspired in the moment and think, yeah, I can do that too. But then the next day happens, and then a week goes by, then a month goes by, and you may lose that inspiration or the energy to go do that next thing that you think you can do, but maybe out of your reach.
Happens all the time. Sure.
Right? But
right.
Over time, the more you get exposed to something or hear that message over and over and over, maybe you start to change, maybe elevate your level of expectation and even belief. And so have you seen anybody in your network, your friends, your family, that have seen you do these things and say, okay, well, maybe I can do that too, and actually start to work on these things and get some results?
You know what's funny? 2 girls that I know done it. 2 women I've known who's done it. And Both of my friends. One girl, she works multiple IT jobs, and she just bought her first property, and she's looking out about her second property. So she's also in that race of I have no longer any contact with the other my other friend. I don't know what she's doing, but I know she was working 2 IT jobs at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, these IT jobs are paying at least 6 figures. So it's kind of like if you can prioritize that, putting one of these checks back and just saving all those checks. That's the game. Just live off that one check. The other checks coming in, save, 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 and that's your new home there.
What do you think? Okay, let's say you take 100 people in IT, making 6 figures.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, I guess you're saying the majority of people maybe are not saving or not acquiring assets or real estate in some regard.
Yeah, because what you got to look at is, you have people who do IT who make 6 figures, but that don't mean they're money savvy. That don't mean they know the financial. They don't mean they know the other end of it. Their job is maybe I make $120,000 a year. I'm just living my life. They're not thinking anything aside of let me save, let me get some assets, because that's not the group of people they hang around. They don't know much about it. So money ain't necessarily don't bring knowledge. You just have money and you just don't know what to do with it.
So it goes out as fast as it comes in.
Right, it's going out. You just spending your money however you want to spend it. Yes, it's 6 figures, but you just going through 6 figures.
So, what do you think would be the way, or a possibility to be able to impact more people with some of these messages? What type of messaging, or how, or what can you?
I mean, the podcast. I mean, these podcasts are the main thing that's giving these messages out. You're getting these all on Instagram. You're seeing these short clips. I guess the internet, social media is going to be probably the quickest way to get this stuff out. And, who hears it, the people who listen to this stuff is the people who actually want to learn. I mean, the people who miss the message, they scroll right past it. It's a message there if you want to hear it, but they probably just scroll right past it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, just keep it on social media. The people who are into this, I mean, they'll listen to the message, and when they're ready to go, they're going to go.
Right, yeah. And that's so important, because you may hear it today, you may hear it again in a year or 2 or 3 or 4, but when you're ready, you're ready. Maybe you heard it enough times and you're ready. It may not be today, maybe it's tomorrow, but okay, we're going on, a half hour here. Don't want to make this too long. If you had just one piece of advice to pass on to somebody that has the desire, the will to put the work in, because again, when I'm out here meeting and networking and connecting with people, there are people who will put the work in and people who won't. And so
right.
I'm talking about the people who are ready to put the work in today, and they were 22 years old or whatever, just getting started. What's the one piece of advice you would give to somebody?
Man, credit and money, man. You got to have good credit. You got to work on that credit for sure, because you can't go far without credit. I mean, it's rare to find people with the credit and the money. So that's especially at a young age, the credit and the money. So at least have the credit. And it's like you're saying, there's other ways to do what I was able to do, but I just didn't want to go the long way, the long way, because like getting money to help me with this, and then I also got to pay that mortgage. So it's just like multiple loans. I don't want to get caught up in that game of owing multiple people money, which I know some people probably can structure that out, but I'm not very structured in that manner to understand I got to pay all these people. Yeah. So I would rather be my money and me get one loan on my home and put somebody in my home. That was the easiest route for me. It's just not a lot of paper trail. Mm-hmm. I got one person in my home. I take care of this home, and it was my money came out of my pocket. I don't owe anybody anything for my money. I just owe this loan on this house. And it was easy for me that way. I know people take equity out in their house. That trail for me, and it might work for people, but it wasn't for me.
No, I definitely know what you mean. Just to keep things simple. Yeah. If anybody had any, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you all good. Like I said, I just want to keep it simple. That's all.
Yeah. If somebody had any questions for you, what's the best way, or where could somebody reach out to you?
Instagram. Instagram would be Instagram.
Do you want to give your handle?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can give me my Instagram.
Okay. Well,
I'm also open to information as well. If someone has information, and someone wants to help me out in any type of way, I'm open for that as well.
That's the thing, is that like we're just trying to create the space to be able to share information. And I want to give a shout out to Anita Santiago. She's got the podcast Conversations with Anita. Her and I spent some time today together, talking about kind of our purpose and with our individual shows. And hers is more relationship. She's got a psychotherapy background. She's getting her PhD as well. But just sharing information, sharing tips, sharing ways to be able to impact the people we want to impact. So yeah, being able to share tips, because that's the thing, right? I mean, there's so many gatekeepers out there in this world, in the whole kind of creator economy, and it's like, what the hell's the point? Like, share the information and let people do what they can.
Right.
But yeah, I also want to give a shout out to Jeff Badu Tax Services. He also believes in the mission that we're doing here with 100 Stories of Increasing Income. He is one of our first sponsors of the show, so I want to give a big shout out to Jeff as well. And that's the thing too, tax planning. As a portfolio starts to grow, there's some pretty good tax strategies to be able to put cash in your pocket to be able to buy the next one.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of that, though, I also have a tax lady who's pretty good. The homes, though, when I do my taxes, I put it all together, and those homes give you huge tax breaks.
That's right.
Huge tax breaks. So the good thing, what I did learn, I know this is not our lane, but I don't pay any taxes. Fortunately, I mean, I made a lot of money last year. The houses that I own, I was able just to write so much stuff off from those homes that I didn't pay any taxes.
Mm-hmm. Did you do like a cost segregation strategy? Does that sound familiar?
I have an accounting, and what she basically does is I keep up with everything I do in my homes. I renovate my homes all the time.
Okay.
I just renovated this whole house, everything top to bottom. I've done everything in this house. So it's just like for that, the tax write-off, I'm definitely going to keep all the receipts and give it to her. It's going to be a tax write-off.
Mm-hmm.
I also have all my homes are under my LLC.
Okay.
So able to write everything off of them.
All right. So I'm going to wrap things up here in just a few minutes. If you were going to tell a teenager that's in high school something that they could be doing to be working on or preparing for things to come, any thoughts or ideas on that?
Yeah, take school serious. I mean, take it super serious. I mean, when I was in high school, I think I took a couple money management classes. Just take that stuff serious, man. And really, that's the opportunity. I didn't take it too serious when I was in high school because it was like I didn't know what I was going to do at this age. I mean, I'm a teenager, but it's just like, and it's always good to see these teenagers focus on the future, though. Like when I was growing up, I didn't see a lot of teenagers taking the future serious. So that would be my thing. Just take it serious, man, because it's going to come, and one day you're going to need that. You're going to need what you learn. You're going to need it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's kids out there that are, teenagers making all kinds of tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars online. Like, people are doing things now. Not everybody's going to be an influencer or make money online, but like, there's people doing it, and, learning some of these skills on how to market, how to, grab people's attention, how to distribute content, how to, all these things can translate to the next level depending on what business you're into.
For sure.
So we're Sunday, October 6th. It's 9:06 Eastern. Want to just give a shout out to Demarco for spending time with us today. We're going to be releasing the first episode of the next season this Friday of 100 Stories of Increasing Income. And Demarco, you and I haven't really talked about this, but this whole conversation does fit into this, wavelength of this season of the podcast. So we might want to jump back in and put another episode together officially on the IT stuff. But definitely appreciate making time. What's one thing you're working on for before the end of the year?
I had a crazy idea jump in my head. I'm gonna tell you when we get offline, but I got a business that I think would be very profitable in my area. They're missing something. They're missing something over here, and they're building a lot of homes in this area. A lot of homes are bringing up. This area before I left here, it was just like it was a nice area, but it was like on the outskirts of Charlotte. Now they have so much stuff they're building around it. Homes are building around here. They're building restaurants around it now. So my equity has shot up $100,000 in this home. That's awesome. There's something I don't see around here, period. I'm just shocked it's not here, and I just think it'd be a good opportunity to bring it in this area.
All right. Let's catch offline on that for sure.
All right, for sure. Okay. I'll give you a call when I'm starting to get off.
All right. Thanks, Demarco.
All right, man.
Talk soon. Bye.